welcome to Haircolor Confessional. I'm Angela.
I'm Christine.
And we're so glad you're here with us. And before we get started, if you have come this far with us, we would just like you to stop right now and like
And
and
subscribe.
subscribe to our YouTube, please.
Yes, Haircolor Confessional.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't do that, we can't tell if you like us or not. So
No, and
yeah.
our numbers need to go up.
Yeah. So, yeah, we need to do that. Okay. So, today we're going to be talking about some crazy stories from the salon. So, Christine and I don't work together. She works in a different town than I do, but we both have been doing hair for a long time.
Quite a few years.
We're just going to say a long time.
Right.
And, but we don't work in the same salon, so we totally have different experiences. We're going to start off with some crazy stories and hope you guys get a kick out of this. So you want to tell your first story, Christine?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I am working on my client and she tells me this story and I was like, really? Tell me more. Okay. So it's about this lady that's going down the street and she gets pulled over because she made an illegal turn. So she looks behind her, sees the sirens and the lights, pulls over, and then the police, he gets out of the car and he goes to her window and he's like, ma'am, you made an illegal turn. And she's like, I did? Okay. So he goes back to his car and he looks up her information and he comes back to her car and says, you have a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to have to take you down to the station and you're going to have to leave your car behind. And she's like, are you kidding me? So here's this 83-year-old white woman that has to go into this police car and go down to the station, right? And so she goes down to the station and they book her. Well, come to find out, she has a housemaid. And the housemaid had used her identity and used her license. And basically, when this lady, the lady that was working for her, got pulled up for prostitution.
Oh, no.
For prostitution, right? And so, the 83-year-old lady didn't know. So anyways, and so they figured out the problem and they said, the police officer said, I am so sorry, but
obviously that's not you.
Oh, this is not you, and you're not, here for prostitution, but, she stole your identity, so we had to pull you in, you had to bring you in.
Yeah. And
so anyway, so the 83-year-old was like, honey, it's okay. I'm just so fortunate that somebody thought that I was, in here for prostitution at 83 years old and having sex. Come on now. So we laughed and giggled at that story, and I was some weird stuff comes out.
That is crazy.
When you're sitting in my chair.
I don't know if I'd tell that story, honestly, to anybody. I would just be like, today was a bad day, and I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah, it was one of her friends.
That's probably what I would do. Okay, so.
Doesn't matter at what age. It just, yeah.
Yeah.
We get crazy stories, and, the crazier the better, and we giggled and laughed, and I was like, then what?
So at my salon, everyone has their own station. We all pay rent. Everybody has their own room. Certain stylists don't like to do certain things. So I am the person that other stylists send those people to. For instance, if you don't want to do men's haircuts, send them to Angela. She'll do them. If you don't want to do kids' cuts, send them to Angela. She'll do them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do wedding dues, send them to Angela. She'll do them. I'm like Mikey. Mikey will do.
Yeah.
Mikey tries everything. I'm like Angela. Angela will do any client that comes in because I don't mind. I like to do a variety of clients, and I'm not scared of nothing. So I'll do it.
In our salon, we say, it smells like money to me.
Hey, it smells like money to me. That's what I say. Okay,
right.
That's what I think. But anyway, so I have gotten, over the past couple of years, since COVID happened, I've gotten a plethora of kids and older people, like super older people. like I'm talking walker older people. They're in a walker. Okay, so this man comes in and gets his haircut every other month. Lovely old man. Okay, he uses a walker. So since I've been doing his hair, probably been doing his hair about 3 years. He's had brain surgery a couple times because he has Parkinson's. So he's trying to get that figured out. But anyway, he's on a walker. So, and he has the best sense of humor. So we have a great conversations, we laugh, and I'm like, take your time, it's fine, whatever, you know, like, and he's like, you're so sweet, I really appreciate you, I'm so thankful for you, whatever. Because, you know, somebody else sent him to me, which
Right.
means they didn't want to do it, so they sent him to me.
Right.
And he knows that. Anyway, so.
But you're gracious enough to
Yes.
take him and
Yes.
understand that he's a human being and he needs his haircut.
He needs his haircut. His hair
Right.
grows just like everybody else.
Right.
Well, he comes in one day. I shampoo him, cut his hair. Everything's great. He pays out, and he gets up to leave, and he gets up and puts both hands on his walker, and he's got these sweatpants on, and he starts walking, and slowly the sweatpants start going down. Slowly they're inching down,
Oh
and
my
all of a
gosh.
sudden they drop to the floor, and I was like, oh my gosh! I ran over there, I picked him up and pulled him up, and I was like, there you go, so sorry, have a great day.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
you're like,
I-
this saw way too much.
I'm just saying that I'm like over the top hairstylist, like that is going above and beyond,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Absolutely. Close it all.
Yeah, anyway. So that was, we both had a laugh on that one. And he was a little embarrassed, but I was like, it's fine, go ahead. And
So did he tip you more?
He had already paid out. He was
Oh.
like on his way out the door when his pants fell down. And I was like, ah! Let me help you with that. Because he couldn't let go. He was holding onto the walker. He couldn't pull him up himself. So yeah.
See, those are the stories that you just go, does it get any better than
Like,
this?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't even make this up,
No,
right?
I
Because
didn't.
it's just reality.
Yeah.
And it's our reality as
Right.
hairstylists. And
Yes.
we giggle and laugh all day long, every day. And it's just like, okay,
Crazy
what's
things
next?
happen in the salon. And you never know what's going to happen next. You would never know.
no. Whether clients are telling you, what their kids are doing, and how they're getting accepted into college, or, what they're doing in their daily lives. No matter what they're doing, it's like we always have a good story to listen to,
Oh, yeah.
to talk about, to engage with. It never ends.
I mean, there's TMI all the time.
Yeah.
We hear way more than we want to hear.
Yeah.
And they tell us way more than we even need to know. Like, we could be called in for court sometimes. I don't
Right.
know.
Well, I feel like I interview so much. I mean, not only am I coloring hair and diagnosing what the heck they've done and trying to figure out, a formulation for their color.
Yeah.
We're together for at least 2 hours. And so you do have a lot to talk about. A lot of times I feel like I'm interviewing that client, and they're telling me, their secrets. They're telling me all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, how's that working for you? And we just kind of roll with it, and we giggle and laugh, and by the time they, are done processing with their hair color, and, we get them out the door, it's like, okay, next. Who do we got next?
Right.
Not one person is a lot, I mean, every individual client that we have are, they're all different.
Yeah.
So it's just such a beautiful thing to build a relationship with these clients.
Yeah.
Man, you just, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Gosh. I had a situation, ever since the COVID situation, we have had a lot of homeless people in our area. It just seems like there's more and more.
Yeah.
There is a park right behind our salon with a railroad track and everything. And I won't go into too much detail, but I mean, one time I was outside and I was doing a video, And I was just in my own little zone, right, for 5 minutes and before my client showed up. And this homeless man was like, hey, you're not going to take a picture of me, are you? And I go, and I turned around like, who the heck is talking to me, right? Well, he was in the dumpster. He was dumpster diving. And I was like, what? No, I'm not going to take a picture of you. And I go back to my videotaping. And then, I mean, he must have disrupted me like 3 or 4 times because he was so scared that I was going to take a picture or a video of him and then I guess call the police. I don't know. But I was like,
you're like, you do you, dude.
You do, I'll do me. I'm in my own little zone. Now I'm not worried about you. You know, and I'm talking to a homeless guy, dumpster diving. And I'm like, I hope that's some good stuff.
I was like, is there anything in there for me?
Yeah.
What you got in there?
Right? It's just, yeah, you can't make this up. It's just funny.
Okay, well, let's talk about our favorite product.
All right.
You go first.
Okay, so I love to go to my facialist. I go every 3 weeks. I have used this product for probably I've used the brand for about 30 years, and it's Yoncon. It is I believe it's a French product, and this particular one is called Cellular Code, and
Show the camera.
And it is a moisturizer.
Ooh.
For, it's anti-aging.
Okay.
A little bit goes a long ways. It's a serum, and I just absolutely love it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite products.
It's a moisturizer like anytime, like night and day.
You're going to use it during the day.
Okay.
You're going to use another moisturizer for night for a little bit heavier, but this one's for the day.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, one of my favorite products.
Okay, so it is a Revitalash, it's from Revitalash Cosmetics, and it's a Revitalash Advanced Eyelash Conditioner.
Oh.
Looks like this.
Hey, that makes your eyelashes grow.
Okay, so I've been using this for like 3 months, and I don't know if you've noticed, but my eyelashes
They're getting long.
are the bomb right now.
They
Just
are. They're
saying.
nice and thick and
I mean,
luscious.
before I started using this, I barely had any eyelashes, and I never got fake ones to like
Yeah.
take my eyelashes away. They just were sparse and not really growing. I started using this, and now it's almost like I need to stop using it because it's almost like they're getting too big.
So, are you really consistent on using it every night?
I use it. I put it
Or
on
do you do it in the morning?
I put it on right before I do my makeup.
Okay.
So I put it in my makeup bag and use it right before I do my makeup.
See, I bought some of that, and it works wonders, and
Yeah.
I love it. But
Yeah.
I'm not consistent on doing it every night. So I guess I need to start that up again.
Well, I don't think you have to be consistent because I think even if I like slow down with it, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Every other day, and they're like, I mean, mine have really grown a lot in the
Yeah,
last
eyelashes
couple
are so
months.
fragile.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
really
they're
are.
grow out and fall off
Yeah.
so often that
Well, it's like hair. They recycle.
yeah.
So it's like, okay, I got lots of lashes, and all of a sudden, bam, they're gone. What happened?
Right. Okay, so I have another story about a crazy client. Well, let me not say that she's crazy. Let me just say that she used to be a hairstylist years ago. Okay, so she's an older client. She comes in for her color all the time. Years ago, she had her own salon, and yeah, so she tries to tell me how to do her hair. Every time
Oh,
she
she's
comes
a
in.
beautician.
She's a beautician.
Yes.
And she is going by what was going on 30 years ago.
Right.
Not by like the product I use and the product I use and how it is formulated. She's going by what she did back in the day.
Right. Her
So
knowledge
every
from
time she's
30
like,
years
okay,
ago.
now, she tries to tell me like the timing of it. She tries to tell me like what color to use.
Oh my gosh.
She tries to tell me how to cut
Not
her
only is
hair.
application different, but I mean the formulation, the processing time.
Yes.
They've come out. I mean, technology with hair color has just advanced so much.
It changes yearly. The
Right.
technology for hair color changes yearly. Also, not to mention, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I was an instructor, so I'm well aware of the products that I use and like how long they have to process. And
Right, because we're chemists. We
Basically,
really are.
we really
I
are.
mean, we know. I mean, we're dealing with ounces. We're dealing with.
we're weighing and measuring and making sure
chemistry.
that we're mixing the things properly together.
Right.
If you don't leave it on for the proper time, it's not going to lift and deposit properly.
Right.
You can't
It's not
just
gonna
leave
cover
it
the
on
gray.
30 minutes. Like, here's the thing is she thinks it's going to get too dark if I leave it on the full amount of time. But how hair color works is the first thing hair color does is it lifts up your hair and opens up the cuticle to put the color in. That's
Right.
the first thing it does. It opens it up and then it puts it in.
To
So
deposit
if you
it.
don't,
Yeah.
if you just open it up and don't deposit, then it's not going to be the correct color.
Right.
So she's wanting to cut off the deposit time,
Right.
because she thinks it's going to be too dark. But I keep trying to say, like, this one color will not go darker than what this one color is.
Right.
Like light, when
And it's
you
a
go
waste
light,
of
it'll go
product if
lighter
you're
and
not going
lighter.
to use it correctly.
Right.
You have to follow the rules.
Right. So I just talked to her longer than she knows, and we're just like, no, oh, well, what about this? And then we'll just.
You're like, yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
okay.
Oh yeah, your timer's still going. No, it hasn't been that long. No, and so how's your grandbaby?
Right. Right.
What's going on with your son?
Yeah, absolutely. I
We
mean,
just keep the conversation going
we
until
make our
timer's
jobs
up.
look so easy, right? Because not only are we, having a conversation and we're communicating what they're, what they want, what we can do for them, or beautifying them, but then also we're trying to go, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional.
Right.
And this is how.
And I don't want to.
You can't be rude.
I don't want
You
to
can't
sound
be rude.
rude.
Right.
But I want her hair to look good. So
Absolutely.
I want her to process
because
the
they're a
whole
walking
time.
advertisement.
Right.
Whatever I do on that client, I want them to look the best of the best
Yeah.
because they're going to tell, 50 other people.
Yeah.
Not only are you, putting the hair color on her, but then she goes home to her husband and her husband says, oh, I love it. Oh, I hate it. And then she goes to her kids and then she
Right.
goes to her tennis club
Yes.
and then she goes to a multiple amount of people and they all see her hair.
Yes.
So it's got to look fabulous.
Right.
But, you're paying us for our expertise. You're paying us because we know what we're doing. We have enough experience and knowledge, to get you through,
I mean, I've had a client like literally pick up this top part of hair and say, just cut the bottom.
You're like, a half a haircut?
Like, no, I can't.
Oh, because they saw it on YouTube. I mean, that's
Don't touch this up here. Just do this.
right. I love how people, we're in a world where everybody has so much knowledge.
Yes. Everybody knows how to cut. I mean, if you can put it on TikTok, then you know how to do it.
Right. You don't have to have a license, right?
But you can put a before and after picture. That doesn't mean that you're showing what happened in the middle.
Right. I love the client that comes in and they cut their bangs and they go, yeah, you really know what you're doing. I cut my bangs up to here and they shrunk. And I go, yeah.
You make it look so easy.
Right. And we do. I mean, we are so natural at what we do and we do it every single day that it just sinks. It sinks
Yeah.
well. But yeah, don't cut your bangs. Come on.
Don't cut your bangs.
No.
Do not, especially when you're mad at them. If you're mad at your bangs, don't cut them.
No, just come on in. It takes 5 minutes to cut your bangs.
Yeah, 5 minutes on a dry haircut. And I don't even charge for bang trims because I don't want you to cut your own bangs.
Right. So many times I'm like, it takes 5 minutes to come over here and let me cut it
Yeah.
so that you don't have bangs up to here.
Yeah.
I mean, they shrink up so much.
I mean,
you
that's 2 months to grow out. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Totally not worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. Okay, well, let's fix this problem and give you more bangs. Okay. I mean, there's not much you can do, when you butchered your own bangs.
Yeah, you just gotta let them grow.
Right.
It's a lesson. It's a lesson to be learned.
I know, but they come back and there's so much, they are very grateful
Yeah.
because they're like, you really know what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I do this all day long. I mean, not only do we have the experience, but we also go to hair shows.
Yeah.
And that's part of we have to be educated because we are, every 3 months there's a new trend. We're always chasing
Yeah.
something else. And it's like, and it's up to us to know. What,
We have to do continuing education too and like stay on the top trims. Yeah. So we've gotten some feedback from some people and they want to know, what do we do if we have guy clients that hit on us in the chair?
Wow, such an interesting question.
I know, right?
I know. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm really, believe it or not, I'm pretty private, right? I mean, I'll talk about my kids, I'll talk about what I'm doing, but when it comes to dating, I'm really private about that. But if they ask me directly, then I'm like, yeah. But when a man's in my chair, yeah, I just kind of dance around the topic because it makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah. It does happen. Personally, I do not date my clients. It's just been a rule here because it gets really weird and awkward.
Yep. I mean, I think that we've been doing hair long enough that we can say, like, when we first started doing hair, you date a client, and then you're like, oh, never do that again.
Yeah. And see, I was always married. I mean, I was married before I started doing hair. So, I mean, I was married for 22 years. So I squash it really fast because it makes me really uncomfortable. I really just, But now that I'm single, I still don't like to date my clients.
No.
Because
it's not a good idea.
No, because you get a 50-50 shot of it actually working out. And then you lose a client.
Right.
If the dating scene doesn't work.
You lose a client either way, because if it's your boyfriend, he's not paying to get a haircut.
No, you're giving it to him for free.
If he's not your boyfriend, he's leaving. He's leaving.
Right. And so the boyfriends that I have had, I have never charged because that's awkward too. It's like, okay, that'll be $50.
Right.
It's just a really fine line. It makes me really uncomfortable, and I would rather just do a female and, let her do hair color on her. I'm like you. I do men's haircuts. I do children. I do a ton of color. I do perms.
Yeah.
I do updos. There's pretty much nothing that I say, no, I'm not going to do that.
True. For me too.
Yeah. I am a full service salon, and I will do anything. That's my industry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, and it does make us feel uncomfortable, and we just try to be nice and change the subject.
Right.
And
we're really good at that.
Yeah.
We're really good at going, well, yeah, so how's the weather out there today?
Right.
Or,
like, what's going on with your golf game?
What did you do this past weekend? Or, hey, we're really good at like switching the topic because it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, we're not going there, dude.
I mean, we're not going to say it doesn't happen, because that's reality. It does happen, but we're not comfortable with it, and we don't encourage it for sure.
No, it's just, I think it's unprofessional.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unprofessional when you do cross the line, because then where do you go from there? And then it's just so unprofessional. So I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather not do it and keep it at a professional level.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't be asking us out when you're sitting in our chair.
Right. That's a whole new other topic.
We're uncomfortable about that. Okay?
Yeah. Definitely. Is there any other topics that you get uncomfortable with besides the dating when you have a client that's in your chair?
I'll pretty much talk about anything, honestly. Okay, so in hair school, we're told not to talk about politics or religion.
Right.
But I'm the first to say, especially if a new client sits in my chair, because personally, I feel like God brings me every new person that sits in my chair.
Absolutely.
So I'm thankful for it, for one. And when they pay out, I'll say, here's my card, and here's a card for my church if you need a place to go, if you need a church to go to.
Yeah.
And that's my kind of way of saying thank you for bringing this client to me, and I'm going to send them back your way kind of thing. But yeah, so I do talk a little bit about religion, especially since I'm doing that. I mean, that's kind of and then politics, if you ask me, I'm definitely going to tell you how I feel.
Right.
We don't have to talk about that today.
Right.
But if you ask me anywhere outside this podcast,
Because you want to be
I
honest
will
with your
definitely-
clients and you want to be transparent.
Right.
But there's certain
But
topics.
I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna sway you one way or the
No,
other.
of course not.
Because everybody has their own opinion, and I totally value other
Absolutely.
people's opinions. Like everybody has their own opinion, and everybody has their own political views,
Right.
and their own religious aspects. So I'm not gonna try to sway you towards me.
Yeah.
But I will tell you the truth, and I'll be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my clients, I have to, it depends on the client that's in my chair. I usually stay neutral. I will listen to both, I'll listen to whatever they're saying, whether it's politics or whether it's religion. And it depends. It depends on how well I know those clients.
Yeah.
If I'm really close to those clients and I know their political views, then we can have an open conversation. But if I know ahead of time that this is not going to get us anywhere and we're going to debate about it, then I just stay neutral and just kind of hop to another subject. I like listening to both sides, but I definitely have an opinion. But when it comes to my business, I have, an assortment of different kinds of clients.
For sure.
Yeah. And then the religion thing, it's like, I definitely, I am a Christian and I am very strong on my beliefs. And, everybody has their opinion. So I just, I just say hallelujah and go, and keep on,
Same with me. And it's like, I feel like as long as we stand in our truth, then we can be an influence on anybody.
Right. Yeah. I pray every day that, I have the strength and knowledge and the courage to get through today's day. And thank you, God, for bringing me clients. And thank you, God, for having these opportunities because we are, in a career that we build relationships.
Right.
And it's just such a miraculous thing.
Yeah.
So, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Haircolor Confessional. And I'm Angela.
I'm Christine.
And please like, follow, subscribe, and all the things. And you can email us if you have any crazy stories that you want to tell us.
And please continue to support us.
Please follow us. Please tell your friends. Please share.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell your family members. Everybody needs to subscribe and like, you know.
And hey, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, email us. We'd be happy to hear them.
Yeah, totally.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.